I've got my predatory headband on, and I'm coming for that Bachelor.
Hey guys, and welcome back to our recap of the Traitors.
Episode 7.
Episode 7, and man, it was a doozy.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's start at the beginning. I cannot believe Peter's choice. So I'm shocked. I'm shocked too.
I'm shocked.
Peter refused your attempt at seduction.
I think when you get asked to become a traitor, you have to say yes. Peter even said, like, his days are numbered now. But it's an interesting choice that he made. I think that he really is like, this is the way I'm going to win, is to be a martyr to the cause of the faithfuls.
He's with the people.
Even if I don't make it to the end, I want the faithfuls to make it to the end and win. And honestly, I mean, in one way you can say that that's noble. In one way you can say that that's short-sighted. There is money on the line. This is a game, you know?
I know. At the end of the day, there's
not so
money.
Serious.
It's not so serious. It's all a bunch of reality stars. After all, Pilot Pete, you were handing out roses just a couple years ago and were dating a ton of people. Sorry, Peter, but like, you know, it's not that serious. But I do think he is taking it so serious, which you have to applaud him for, right?
Yeah, so often we see the faithfuls just not do anything, but like he is being really aggressive, really smart, and I think that the faithfuls are going to make it farther because of him.
Do you think Peter did like serious research before coming onto this show?
I don't know. I would love to ask him when we talk to him at some point, but I think he just has a natural savvy for this. And we saw that by the way that he approached the breakfast situation.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about the breakfast situation. He's walking. So they find out that he is not gonna accept.
Yeah, they put their heads up, and then Alan is
drama.
right there.
It's not Pilot Pete, it's Alan. Drama. So then they come into the breakfast. I have to give Phaedra so much credit because she is an actress. She is so good. Her facial expressions. So Peter is the last one to walk in, right?
No, I think he's like second to last.
Yeah.
He's a second to last group. And, but he doesn't say anything. I think,
but he whispers to John though.
Hey, let's talk, buddy. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of hard to know what to do in this situation. Like, do you tell everyone? But Peter has already proved that, like, he likes to give information to select people in order to, like, strategically move about the game. Holding this until the right moment could be a good move.
Right. Or is it just going to be, because now people, I don't want to jump ahead of time, but like now people are thinking that Peter is a traitor.
It gives Parvati an opportunity to like start planting those seeds that like he's a liar because he's like, if he tells it later, then she's like, well, why
no
did
one's
you
going to
keep
believe
this?
him.
Exactly.
No one's going to believe him.
So he's kind of like damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. I don't know if anyone saw the Traitors UK, but in that
you're obsessed with that. I have not watched, but
well, okay, spoilers for anyone who hasn't watched. You can skip ahead if you don't want to see.
Skip.
But there's this player named Alex who, at this same juncture in the game, gets recruited to be a traitor and says no. And then at the breakfast table says, hey, everyone, like, they recruited me. I said no. And I'm pretty sure, like, the very next night gets murdered because, like, that earns her so much trust by, like, coming out and saying that. It's hard to say what the right move is here for someone like Peter. So, like, I don't fault him for doing it the way that he did it and getting his little allies in a huddle.
What does Phaedra call them? Peter pals.
Peter's
pals. It's interesting though that group of people, no one is a traitor. Like they're actually all being honest and genuine with each other.
It would have been so funny if one of them was.
I wish Phaedra was. I wish Phaedra was in that group.
Oh yeah, but she's in the other.
No, she's in the other group, which is interesting because this is really the first time that we see a clear divide between two groups.
Yeah, as we saw Sandra do with like the billiards table balls, like there's 12 people, 5 of them are in the Peter pals, and then there's 7 others, I think, if I'm remembering the math right. And Sandra's like, we have the numbers. Like, if the traitors are on the other side, then we can't like cut ourselves down. We need to be targeting them for banishment if we want to make it to the end together.
Right. But she's in the wrong group right now.
And I'm hoping that she figures that out sooner or later.
But it's interesting though because Peter's pals are very closed off now. They're not allowing anyone else to come in because you saw how MJ walked in and they told her to go away. It's like, give me 1 minute, give me 1 minute. So I don't think they will even allow anyone else to come in.
So if they start getting targeted and picked off for banishment, that's kind of like their own doing because they weren't very welcoming as an alliance. And like, and they're turning off the other faithfuls who could be working with them by being so cliquey.
Let's talk about the challenge because it was actually pretty funny.
I had had no idea that they were going to do that. And then when the first person got swooped up,
no.
I think my favorite moment was when Sheree like ran away.
It was fun. It was actually a lot of fun because normally, like, I'm going to be honest with you, normally I feel like the challenge is just like the whatever part, you know, but this one was funny.
Yeah, there's not a lot of strategy in the challenges because like both the Traitors and the Faithfuls are working to get the money. So like there's not many opportunities for them to have competing interests.
Except though for the shields.
Right. Which ended up in the hands of Sandra and Kevin.
Which Kevin is in Peter's pals. He's in there and then Sandra's in the other group. So that's interesting. You know, our poor Pete really needed that shield, but he did not get it.
No, and he got out on the first round too, so he really had no chance this time.
Yeah.
So he's sweating it coming out of the challenge, and he hears from CT.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, CT pulls this move where he like goes to Peter and says, "Hey man, like you are one of the people like on the chopping block," and Peter is surprised. So like this is CT playing both sides. I'm kind of liking it.
I was gonna say because you've watched the challenge
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay, and so. I haven't really been paying attention to CT because I feel like he's kind of been in the back. But
which is a good move for him.
Is a good move. And this is a good move that he's playing the sides because he did also in a confessional say that if he had to vote right now, he would vote for Peter, which is interesting now, like we were just saying, people are looking at Peter.
Right. And like he already earned a little bit of trust with Peter last week because remember, CT was one of the people that Peter told the lie to. But then the way that he reacted made Peter think, oh, CT isn't a traitor. So I kind of like that he's like working on his relationship with Peter, but also suspicious of him.
Yeah, he's being smart about it.
He's really charting his own path in the game.
Let's go in the armory.
The armory? Have a conversation?
Peter goes and basically pulls Phaedra and Parvati into this teeny tiny little room.
It's so interesting because those are the traitors.
Right. So Peter, I mean, and he kind of knows that.
He knows that. I don't know. Is Peter on to Phaedra, though?
Well, Trishelle is on to Phaedra, which is interesting that when Peter and his alliance were talking earlier in the game, Peter's like, we need to go for Parvati first. And then Trishelle is like, no, like we have time for Parvati. Let's go for Phaedra while we have our numbers.
Because she made a very excellent point. Dan did go after Phaedra last week. And now that they know he is a traitor, why would he have gone after a faithful?
You connect the dots and you're like,
totally.
Oh, Phaedra has to be a traitor. And that's such a bummer because Phaedra has been playing a spotless game, so perfect. And the only suspicion on her is because of this whole Dan situation.
You want to work together and get somebody out?
No, don't
like that
yet.
kind of stuff.
Don't leave yet.
But I don't want to be in no collusion.
Parvati and Phaedra handled this Peter situation so differently. Like Parvati is like staring him down with her icy stare and like they're going head to head. And Phaedra is like, get me out of the situation. I don't like the drama.
Which was so good on Phaedra's end.
Yes.
So good because at the end of the day, Peter is the one that is sniffing everyone out. And the way that Phaedra acted was like, take me out. And he's not going to think second about her. I really don't. Like, I don't think he's going to think about Phaedra actually being a traitor.
The way that they handled it so differently would make me think, oh, they're not working together.
Right.
So that, for Phaedra, I think was really smart.
Something weird is happening.
We're going on an outing. A deadly outing.
So we were ready for the round table. I was excited for the round
That
table.
would have been so good.
It would have been so good. It would have been
Parvati-Peter showdown. But
gotta just wait for that.
instead, Alan says, instead of doing a round table, there's no banishment tonight, and we're all going to go around in a chain and basically save people from being murdered.
Right.
And because Sandra and Kevin have the shield, they get to go first, and they choose Sheree.
Then Sheree picks Phaedra.
And Phaedra has like the sweetest reaction to that. It's clear that they have a bond that transcends the game. So I'm a little worried when Sheree will eventually find out that she's a traitor.
Because here's the thing, you know, the housewives have to stick together, but Phaedra's in it for the long haul. So then Phaedra picks CT.
Which I think makes sense because they're building such a strong bond. And I don't understand why Parvati was like, why not me? Like, girl, you guys aren't close. You need to keep that.
Why would she pick her? And then here's the big one. CT picks John. And that pissed off Trishelle.
Because she's hanging out to dry. Like, she wants her challenge ally to step in for her. And he did not. And ultimately, John picks Peter. So Trishelle is one of the people that is vulnerable to being murdered tonight. The part about the CT and Trishelle thing that like wounds me the most is that Trishelle is like the most on the money when it comes to who the traitors are. And for CT to be like, oh, John might be better at figuring that out, like, is such a misread.
Because he's a British politician. Ugh. No. that is, I hope Trishelle has her, like, time to be like, look, you guys haven't been paying attention to, because what happened was in the beginning of the season
with Peppermint,
she made the wrong call with Peppermint, and now I just don't think anyone really trusts her and believes her.
But now she's really
she's
there
understanding
with
it.
Okay, do I need to be nicer or what?
Yeah, you give off Mean Girls a little bit, because you're just like, you're either an Iron Maiden or an Ice Princess.
So now we're back up in the turret. I bet you Phaedra wishes it was anyone else but her at this point. Parvati.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely are bringing different strengths. Parvati being really, like, savvy, like, more icy, like, able to do, like, the cold-blooded things.
Right.
And Phaedra being more warm, more social, less suspecting.
Okay,
but I think that she, like, Parvati could take a page from Phaedra's book. I think this is good advice.
I think it's great advice.
So who do we have? We have Bergie, Trishelle, MJ, Kate.
So who do you think would be the right choice here?
My initial thought was Bergie to get Peter's pals, right? But then maybe an MJ. They're not going to take Kate out because I do think, like they mentioned, maybe they recruit Kate, which would be good. Good strategy.
I need to see that.
Good strategy. That would be good.
Alan, give them the opportunity to recruit again. I need to see it because Kate is someone who
I know.
would
Will
say
they
yes.
have another opportunity, or did this mess it up? I mean, we have several episodes left, right? We'll just have to wait and see. And this week, you're not interviewing anyone because it was a very special episode.
But if you have any questions for people going forward in this season, let us know and we will definitely tell them.
Yeah, because you asked all the questions. People did ask you questions and you asked Dan. So
yes. I am getting you your answers, guys. Don't worry. I was just as confused as y'all about Dan's moves. So if you want to know more about his backstory and why he made the choices he did, you can check out that interview.
Until then, we'll be back with another recap next week. This was fun.
This was so fun. I can't wait. See you guys next time.
Bye.